guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy. And a huge thanks to Lakeland Hyundai for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car in the Lakeland area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And for those of you guys who don't know, the Santa Fe started off as Hyundai's compact SUV back in 2001. That's when the first generation was released. The first generation ran up until 2005. The second generation in 2006 transitioned the Santa Fe into a mid-size SUV, where it has remained up until the fourth generation that you see here, which was released back in 2019, facelifted for 2021. There are a few changes here for 2023, including slight updates to the map, new H-Tech seating surfaces, updated paint options too, including Hampton Gray, Calypso Red, Stormy Sea, Serenity White Pearl, and for the PHEV, there's also Serenity White Pearl Hue. No more SEL convenience trim too. For 2023, the Santa Fe is available as a gas or a hybrid for about a $6,000 premium. The gas engines include a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder or a 2.5 liter turbo. For the gas engine, starting with the SE trim at $28,200, we get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, LED headlamps, and 18-inch rims, as well as an 8-inch touchscreen. You can upgrade a few $1,000 to the SEL, which gives you an upgraded 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation. However, with the upgraded screen, we don't get wireless Apple CarPlay. We do get wireless charging though, and heated front seats. A couple extra $1,000 gets you the XRT. It's basically the same thing as an SEL. It's just a little bit more rugged, more black trims for the exterior. You can upgrade, a big upgrade, about $6,300 to the limited trim, and now that's a very nice luxury SUV, including a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine, remote smart park assist, 19-inch rims, blind spot camera, and a surround view monitor. The Calligraphy trim that you see here includes 20-inch rims, quilted Napa leather seats, a different grille finish, and ambient lighting for a base price of $42,000. What do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your full LED headlamps with the LED daytime running strip, LED for the high and low beam, the projector style bulbs, full front parking sensing, forward facing camera too, advanced radar cruise control up front, housed below. Ton of airflow too for the radiator on the left side and intercooler out on the right. I'm liking that smoked aluminum looking trim too. Very nice looking SUV. Wheel and tire setup for the Calligraphy, we get these 20-inch rims wrapped in Continental Cross Contact LX Sport tires, dimensions being 255/45 R20. Just the front wheel drive here for this Calligraphy, unfortunately, so these 255 tires hopefully can help put this pretty powerful 2.5 liter turbo's power down. More of that smoked aluminum looking trim below. The mirrors have a two-tone contrast LED turn signal on them, blind spot view monitor, camera on the mirror too. Smart access for all four. I'm liking more of that smoked aluminum looking trim for the window trim and roof rails. Blacked out B-pillar. We can take a quick look at the window sticker of this 2023 Santa Fe Calligraphy 2.5T front wheel drive. Standard features, you can pause, take a look at all of these. Of course, Napa leather, heated and ventilated seats. Options, not a whole lot, a couple $100 in total options. $1,300 destination charge totals us out a tick over $44,000. The turbo still gets pretty good gas mileage. It's not quite as good as the non-turbo, but still 25 combined MPGs for a mid-size SUV. I'm sure nobody will complain. Same rear wheel and tire setup. The gas cap is push to open. No easy fill. I kind of would expect easy fill, but at the end of the day, not a very big complaint. Out rear LED taillights. I'm liking that little 7-piece design that the Hyundai uses for the Santa Fe. I like that sunshine next to the Santa Fe too. Shout out Lakeland Hyundai for making this review possible. 2.5T on the right side, full rear parking sensing, no tow hitch, exhaust tip. And speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 2.5 liter turbo and hear how she sounds. All right guys, that was the sound of the 2.5 liter turbo sold by Hyundai for the 2023 Santa Fe Calligraphy, and it sounds pretty good considering what it is. It makes a ton of power. 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. Huge upgrade compared to the non-turbo, which makes 191 horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque. The non-turbo can get the Santa Fe to 60 in the mid 8-second range. The turbo can get to 60 in under 6 seconds. I believe Car and Driver tested it around 5.9, Motor Trend around 6.2, making it a no-joke performer. But what you see is basically what we get. Can't wait to take it out for a drive. In the meantime, we can shut this hood right up, take a step back, and check out the interior of this top trim 2023 Santa Fe Calligraphy. So stepping inside, smart access for all four as we mentioned, soft touch up top, faux carbon trim in the center, aluminum door handle, 2-person memory seats, a little bit of hard plastic for the center area, gushy soft Napa leather armrest. We got auto one touch for all four, power folding mirrors, Harman Kardon sound system with some solid storage beneath too. Hard plastic, of course, down below, Santa Fe nameplate as we step inside, Napa leather quilted seats, perforated, heated, and ventilated, solid bolstering for the outside portion as well. Down below, 4-way lumbar control, you can recline, drop, lift, and slide, adjustable thigh support for the taller passengers, which is also appreciated. Taking a step inside, we can fire up the Santa Fe and watch everything come to life. So start stop button right behind the steering wheel. Nice. But first thing we notice though, we get the dual 10.25-inch gauge displays, well 12.3-inch digital instrument display and a 10.25-inch touchscreen. The steering wheel, all Hyundai and Genesis steering wheels have been great lately. There's no exception here. Perforated leather for the 9 and 3, solid 10 and 2 bolstering notch. The horn area is rubberized. Horn itself, pretty aggressive sounding horn, not quite as aggressive as the Mach-E we recently reviewed in this channel, but it still sounds pretty good. Aluminum paddle shifters, voice commands, AM, FM, and Sirius, volume and skip, and you can answer and hang up your phone calls. On the right side, active lane keep assist with radar cruise control. These two buttons control your infotainment display. We're currently looking at drive info. We can see sense refueling, accumulator info, auto stop, and a digital speedometer. We also get turn by turn and a compass, tire pressure you have to be driving to view, and your advanced safety features screen with active attention warning. I'll leave it here for the trip computer. On the left side, we get about 160 mile-an-hour speedometer. On the right side, about 6,400 RPM for the tach. The display that changes based on drive mode. Let's see if it does. We're currently in normal mode, sport. We have a little sport logo down below, but the screen itself does not change. So something else I'm noticing for 2023, maybe I'm not doing something right, but for 2022, whenever you put the cars into sport, the displays would change and give you like a black background. That's just not the case here for this 2023 Hyundais. But let me know in the comments section if maybe I'm just doing something wrong, but compared to the previous model year, it's a little bit different. To the left of the steering wheel, interior lighting, lane keep assist, trunk release, you can turn off your traction control, outlined in leather stitched trim, electronic parking brake, hood latch release, fuse box, and you can get a good look at your pedals. Nice. Up top, dashboard is actually a hard plastic, which is surprising, but the areas up in front are a beautiful Napa leather, gray, tan, whatever you call it, baseball glove color leather. Beautiful. The touchscreen, 10.25 inches. It has a pretty nice resolution. The response not quite as good as the Mach-E we recently reviewed in this channel, or just reviewed in this channel, but it's still a pretty solid response. We can go home, map, navigation, phone, projection, voice memo, climate, valet mode. You can read, guys, you can see everything that's available on this screen. My personal favorite to look at all times would probably just be the map. Beneath that, hazards, aluminum outlining your air vents. Volume controls have a satisfying click, more leather stitched trim with some gushy soft materials for where your knee will often hit. Additional storage too, hopefully you can pick it up on camera. Additional 12-volt and USB port as well. Another USB port and a wireless charging pad. The wireless charging pad's in here. You just drop your phone inside and it should charge it right up. 2 cup holders. Hopefully you guys can pick them up. More of that carbon looking trim too, surrounding all your buttons. Gear selector controls your 8-speed automatic transmission. Shortcuts up top, climate adjustments in the middle, drive mode selector down below. The modes, as we mentioned, we have comfort, sport, and smart. We'll start off in comfort, transition into sport, and just see what the differences are. Engine start stop we can disable for this review. Auto hold, heated steering wheel. You can turn off your parking sensors and you can get a good look at your parking camera at all times. So we have to press this button one more time. So right now we're looking at the backup camera and 360. We have multiple different views for the backup camera and a little wheel view to make sure that you don't scratch up your rims in some sticky situations. You can press the camera button one more time and it exits us out. You can see our backup camera also by putting the car into reverse. We get guidance lines and trajectory for both the backup camera and the 360. As you see, it accounts for your rear and front end swing. Put it right back into park. It takes us right out and sends us right back to our home screen. Heated and ventilated seats. You can shut this cubby up and it exposes more of that faux carbon. Armrest, pretty soft leather, Napa leather. We can see the storage space. Get a cubby for business cards, coins or whatnot. Very deep storage. I'd expect you to fit two 2-liter bottles of soda in here. As soon as you figure out where to put this tray, we can shut this console right up. Additional storage above your glove box, which has more of that leather stitch trim. You can open it up by pulling the latch. It's damped, not lined with felt, but not a big deal. Very wide, pretty large glove box. I'd expect you to fit 20-25 license plates. Thin frame for the rear view mirror. It's not quite frameless, but it is auto dimming. 3 garage homelink settings on it. We have Alcantara for the headliner. Very premium trim here for the Calligraphy. Moonroof, of course, we can open it up. It opens up very fast. That's probably the fastest opening shade in the business, with a massive front panel of glass. As you see, we'll see how far it opens up. Pretty far. See if it goes any further. It does not, but it goes out very far. Huge opening for a moonroof. We could poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Lakeland, Florida. It's sunny and about 95 degrees today, but the AC is doing its job, keeping me cool. We can shut this moonroof up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, we can get a good idea of how much light is brought into the cabin. But other than that, that's about it for the front seat, guys. Beautiful, beautiful interior so far. We'll hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. So out back, you get soft touch materials up top and a sunshade out rear. That's nice. Aluminum door handle, a little bit of hard plastic surrounding it, but the baseball glove color Napa leather for the armrest is very premium. Auto One touch out rear, heated rear seats, Harman Kardon speaker with some solid storage beneath. Santa Fe aluminum nameplate as we step inside. The seats out rear, silk quilted and perforated Napa leather, two-tone contrast, navy blue and baseball glove tan. The seats themselves, you can recline them, you can't slide them, but the legroom is still pretty solid. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have plenty of space, at least 2-3 inches, 3-4 inches of knee room, plenty of room for my feet. Headroom, I have at least like 2-3 inches before my head will start to touch. I'm starting to get pretty sweaty. It is a hot one today in Lakeland, Florida. But again, I'm appreciating the rear air vents, 2 USB ports, and an AC adapter for the second row. Mat pocket behind the passenger seat, nothing behind the driver, unfortunately. Ton of light brought into the cabin thanks to this massive panoramic moonroof. Interior light, LED. The center cubby, you got to jab your hand into it because we do not get a string, but the leather itself, it's good quality, not the softest, but nice comfortable spot for your arm. 2 cup holders, you can probably fit up to 16 ounces, and I guess like a shot glass sized cup holder in the center. Not quite sure what you would put in there. We can put the armrest right back. That's about it for the back seat. It is an impressive interior, guys, overall, from a luxury standpoint and performance standpoint with this 2.5 liter turbo. Can't wait to take it out for a drive, but before we do that, let's take a quick look at the trunk space in the mid-sized Hyundai Santa Fe. Very large opening. It's not quite as big of a cargo space as the Palisade, but the entry height is solid. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall. My knee's about 3 inches below the step-in, so older pets shouldn't have the toughest time hopping back here. Underneath this little sunshine, you can see some secret storage. We can open it up. We have a jack, couple lug nuts, but I would personally empty this out and use this as a perfect little grocery bag holder if I just remove this little secret storage compartment. Very nice use of space. You can drop the rear seats down 60-40 split electrically, and if you drop the seats down, I'd expect you to fit up to a 70-75 inch TV back here with no problem whatsoever. I'm liking the height too of this cargo space, but again, what you see is what we get. Tonneau cover so people aren't looking at what's inside of your Santa Fe. Harman Kardon subwoofer too. That's about it, guys. We can shut this thing up simply by pressing the button and take another step back, walk around the 2023 Santa Fe Calligraphy one more time. It is a nice SUV from a interior exterior perspective. Driving wise with the turbo, as we mentioned, should be a ton of fun too. Speaking of that, let's take the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy out for a drive. All right, guys, now we're just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy. Let's take it out for a drive. And the first thing I noticed that I didn't mention already, we do get a heads-up display in the Calligraphy, and it's a very clear display, comparable to like what you would get from the new BMW and GM systems. It's very clear, better than Mazda heads-up display for sure. The second thing I noticed is you sit pretty high up for a smaller mid-size SUV. From an elevation perspective, it really doesn't feel like you're sitting any lower than, say, a Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. You have a very commanding view of the road. Not sure what this guy and his forklift need to be on a public road for, but I'll catch back with you as soon as we can step out onto this multiple lane highway, which it looks like we can. And about half throttle. Woo! Yeah, this thing can pull very strong. We knew that. We've already tested this motor countless times on this channel. Very strong down low. I mean, 311 pound-feet of torque, and it really starts to kick in around the mid-range point. Very strong mid-range with this 2.5 liter turbo. And just cruising along on the concrete pavement at highway speeds, still a very quiet interior. You hear a slight amount of road noise, but I mean, it's concrete pavement, it's very tough to hide. And overall, I am still very impressed. But we can take a step out onto this road and you see those blind spot cameras. That is a sweet feature. Try it out one time in sport mode. Okay, sport, on the gas. Woo! Yeah, we have some traction control that actually kicks in. So I'm thinking if you're gonna go for a Calligraphy or a limited trim with a 2.5 liter turbo, I think you should just go with the all-wheel drive version too. I think it should come standard with all-wheel drive. Honestly, just charge an extra couple $1,000, give us standard all-wheel drive on the two top trim Santa Fe's. They're still very nice cars. It's just with 311 pound-feet of torque, it can get a little bit tough putting all that power to the ground. All right, taking a step out here, guys, we'll test out the paddle shifters. Okay, first gear, a little bit of gas. Let's go. Woo! Yeah, flow and torque in this thing is great. The paddles respond quickly. Rev match downshifts. It's a nice car. Again, I wish all-wheel drive came standard because putting the power down in first and second gear can get a little bit tricky, and you're probably not going to get the best 0 to 60 time. You can try out a little bit of half throttle passing power. Wow. Yeah, the mid-range in this motor is very, very strong. This is one of the stronger feeling turbo 4-cylinders in the segment, which is weird. We test drove the Genesis GV80 and it had the same 2.5 liter turbo, but it didn't feel anywhere near as strong. The GV70 also didn't really feel nearly as strong as it does here. And that's funny because the GV70 or the GV80 and the GV70, they're actually rated at 300 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. So more power on paper than this, but this genuinely feels stronger. I think it's because of the front-wheel drive, having a battle between like the tires constantly wanting to chirp and squeal with torque steer. It makes it a more interesting experience. But personally, again, I think if you're going with a top trim Calligraphy or a limited, go with the all-wheel drive. All right, guys, off the line, about half throttle, boost. Woo! Let's go. Wow, yeah, traction control was like flat. The light was flashing up until like 40 miles per hour, and we didn't even lean into the gas pedal until like about 25. So, like I said, you probably want all-wheel drive with this motor. I probably said it 1,000 times, but outside of the traction, this is a fantastic SUV. The ride quality is soft. The isolation from the road is great. Let's do a window check real quick. We get dual pane windows. Nice. I'm not sure if the lower trim Santa Fe's get dual panes too, but the Calligraphy 100% gets them, and I'm pretty sure the limited does too. We can take a step out onto this road with some twisties, use the paddle shifters, second gear, oh yeah, third, throwing it in, nice, the handling is good. Ooh, a little bit of body roll, yeah, okay, it's not a sports car. We hear a little turbo blow off too once you let off. We'll calm down. We don't have to push it too far. To take it out of the manual shifts, all you have to do is press and hold the right paddle shifter. We'll take it out of sport mode too, throw it in comfort mode. The gas pedal gets a lot less sensitive. The steering gets a lot lighter too. But other than that, not a whole lot of differences. In sport mode, you still have your overdrive gears, but in comfort mode, you're more eager to shift into the overdrive gears. Like right now, we're cruising like 35 miles an hour at 1200 RPM, as opposed to like 1800 if we were in sport. So sport would just leave you down one gear, as opposed to some cars where sport leaves you in like third gear the whole time, leaving your revs at like 4000 RPM. So sport, you can still drive every day with it, but personally, I think I would just leave it in comfort mode because there's too much power in this car for the front wheels. So the less sensitive the gas pedal is, the more controllable the car overall feels. But other than that, would I recommend the Santa Fe Calligraphy? Absolutely. This is a great SUV. Just go with the all-wheel drive. You'll thank me later, I promise you. You'll have consistent acceleration. You're not going to have to worry about the wheel spin. You're not going to be going through tires once a year like you probably will with a front-wheel drive version. So long-term, I don't think it's going to cost you much more. And huge thanks to Lakeland Hyundai for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. And if you're in the Lakeland, Orlando, Tampa area looking for a new car, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. Other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.